Hey there, lover of TTRPGs. You know that trope of the smirking edgelord player who says, "It's what my character would do," when justifying bad behavior? There's another side to that coin when the GM shrugs and says, "It's what the monster would do," when they're stabbing you while you're already at 0 HP. This is Jim from Wizards and Wordslingers, and I love talking TTRPG theory. I put up a poll the other day and asked DMs if it's okay to hit a PC when they're already down. And only a third of you had a strong yes or no opinion either way. A full 67% of you found there are additional considerations and circumstances when it comes to this topic. And it really got me all theoretical. Mostly that while there's no right or wrong answer with respect to hitting downed PCs, and no blanket way to handle this for all monsters, it's worth thinking about so you'll know how to react when this situation presents itself. I've screenshotted 7 different comments with a wide spectrum of attitudes and beliefs when it comes to how to handle this. And there are some great points here, so let's dig in. The most common reply is this: it depends on how smart the monster is, or what the monster's goals are. And that's a great point. The sneaky goblin is likely to watch you fall and then move on to the next threat. But then this comment also mentions an earth elemental stepping on your noggin to make sure you're dead. Interestingly, the Earth Elemental has an intelligence of 5, while the Goblin has an intelligence of 10. So which one is more likely to understand that the PC could get back up and remain a threat? Which one is more likely to understand that the PC could come back for revenge later? Do Goblins know that PCs can possibly track them back to their hideout? Would an Earth Elemental know that? This comment makes a good point about action economy. If there are still threats on the battlefield, then the monster's next action would probably be better spent attacking the PCs who are still up, because they're a more clear and present danger. This is probably the most diplomatic way to avoid killing a PC. And this related comment makes the argument that non-sentient creatures will likely only have a meal on their minds. Will the creature focus on downing everyone so it can pick out a meal with all threats handled? Or will it grab the first downed PC it can and try to flee back to its lair mid-combat? That comment also makes mention of smarter creatures focusing on the healer, which is absolutely true. Your adult dragon or your archmage will know that healing word and cure wounds can make these PCs nearly invincible, so it's logical for them to focus fire on the healer so they can't revive anyone else. Our next comment makes mention of MultiAttack, and this is a tough call, a really tough call. If your baddie has 3 attacks and the first one downs the squishy mage, those next 2 attacks could literally kill the PC. Because when you're at 0 HP, you're unconscious and incapacitated, which means attacks against you have advantage, and any attack that hits and also originates from within 5 feet is a crit. A critical hit makes you fail 2 death saving throws. Since you only get 3 fails before death, you're in trouble, squishy mage. But also, if you're facing an enemy with 3 attacks, then you're likely high enough level that you'd either have Raise Dead or you'll know an NPC who can get it. But that same fate could be accomplished by 3 goblins standing around you with 1 attack each. How brutal are your goblins? And speaking of brutal, how about this? Rip them in half. I mean, that's one way to do it. Although I would recommend if this is your philosophy as a DM, your player should probably be aware that this is how your table operates. Or the other end of the spectrum, for the more casual game, death is only a consequence of poor decision making. I like this take because I think if your characters are guaranteed to live through everything, then there are very little stakes in the game. There has to be a chance of death, and making it a penalty for dumb decisions seems fair. I like what Brian Murphy from NADPOD says. When the player suggests a ridiculous course of action and the DM says, "Are you sure?" there's your chance to reconsider. If the DM gives you that tilted head warning and you proceed anyway, then the consequences are on you. And finally, I really like this point, and that is, it's not always simply a left brain analytical choice about survival or food. Monsters can make emotional decisions too. Yeah, if I'm an insecure vampire and you make fun of my widow's peak, I might slit your throat while you're down. This sort of falls in line with what I said about Murph from NADPOD. Don't poke the bear unless you're willing to face the claws and the bite, right? And the moral of the story I'm getting around to here is to warn newer DMs that this is a choice you might have to face at some point. When we're building our encounters, give some thought to, are these mindless monsters cunning and lethal, or likely to react emotionally? Are they looking for a meal, or simply to defend their territory? You probably won't have to make this decision for every single monster in advance, and will have to make some of these decisions on the fly in the moment. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about it. That monster might not be making the choice until it comes up either. But I suppose the real moral of the story is, it's a game and it's gonna be okay. Whatever you do, it's gonna be fine. Even if you kill that PC and the player gets mad at you, it's still gonna be fine. Because you, DM, are beautiful and perfect and can do no wrong. Okay, maybe that's not exactly true, but you're only human, and running games is both an art and a science, and one you can practice and get better at. If you like these TTRPG theory videos, check out this one I make about fudging dice rolls. How do you feel about that? Is that okay? And go practice running some combat and, just for the hell of it, kill a PC. Maybe you'll love it. I'm GM Jim. Until next time, have fun.